Hey y'all, I just want to apologize for my voice. I was sick when I recorded this, but I still tried to make it through. I am definitely doing better now, but wanted to just give a disclaimer before the episode started. Hopefully you enjoy it and talk to you all later. Passion our purpose, profit our pain. I don't want my name to ever be in vain. A life full of substance is the only thing that will remain the same. Millennial thoughts.
Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Thoughts with your girl Alicia. I am so sorry, y'all. I feel like I sound horrible, but I had to get this interview out. I'm sick, so hopefully I get better soon. But today we have a great friend of mine that joined to talk about her relocation as well. Her name is Nancy. Say hi, Nancy.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Thank you for joining us
Yes, of course.
and chatting with you know, chatting with
With my
us
girl.
about your relocation.
Yes.
So my first question is, where did you move to from where?
Oh, okay. So I moved from Kentucky to Baltimore, Maryland. So I'm in the DMV area. Yes. But I moved from Kentucky, which is a two different places, but we are here now.
Yeah. How many hours did it take you to drive?
It's an 8 hour drive. Like, yes, there's some traffic, so maybe like 9 hours. But if you really don't stop or do a lot and really not that much traffic, yeah, it's like an 8 hour drive. I left at like 7 o'clock in the morning and got to Baltimore about because there's some breaks in between. So I got to Baltimore about 4:35.
Oh, okay. So you said that there were some differences. What was the main difference that you seen from Kentucky? Um,
Okay, I would say the people. So I am a black woman. So there is a lot of black people in Baltimore. Like that just is what it is. I turn the corner, I'm driving, I look over, and there is a black person next to me. It's so like empowering. It feels good. Like you see in these stores, these doctors, like just restaurants and everything. People just on the street. So it's very black community. And then I'm from Kentucky. Everybody, knows the stereotype of Kentucky, like hillbilly-ish, white people and everything like that. So that is like one of the major differences. Another one is like highways, in Baltimore or in the DMV. Everything is a highway. You got to get on the highway. I mean, there's like streetways and stuff, but that's going to be an extra like um 10 to 20, 30 minutes drive, right? So it's like everywhere is like you got to get on the highway to get to where you want to get to. In Kentucky, you can take a little side road and it won't, it only add like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something like that. And so it's like, okay, that is a really big difference, but it's okay because like the traffic here moves while in Kentucky I feel like traffic is stagnant, like there's always a wreck or like people are just not moving their car, but here everyone is going. They are going to go past you if you are going too slow. Like they don't care about you. So that is something that I've noticed. And yeah, and I think the people. I don't know. I feel like the people like in Kentucky are a little bit more friendlier. Here in Baltimore or here in the DMV area, everyone is like on the go doing what they got to do. Like you may get a high, you may not get a high. In Kentucky, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, sweetheart, hey, honey." Here it's just like a move out the way. I gotta do what I gotta do. What you need. So that's different.
that's
Oh, you feel better, sis.
that is interesting. Those point of views. The first one with the black people. You don't feel like you've seen black people in Kentucky? Or
I
you just feel like it's a mass of black people where you're
Yeah,
at?
so there's a mass. There's a more of a mass here. Like even just going out last night, like you're just gonna see way more black people. Like I legit like will drive, and every car like around me is black people, and I was not seeing that in Kentucky. Like not where I'm from. Well, one where I'm from, Frankfort, Kentucky, the capital. You're definitely not seeing that. And then in Louisville, certain areas. Certain areas in Louisville, Kentucky, you're going to see that. You're not going to see a lot of black people. If depending on where you are in Louisville, you may the next car next to you or the couple cars next to you are going to be black people. But other areas in Louisville, it's no, you're not going to see those faces. So no, there's a difference.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't talked about this, but culture shock is really a big one because even
Uh-huh.
me, like, okay, of course, y'all know, go Cards. I met Nancy in college, so we
Yeah.
graduated college together.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I moved from Fort Knox, Radcliffe area.
Uh-huh.
Now, there's a lot of black people there.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying, there's a lot of black people there, but I mean, there's white people there. So I feel like it's a mixture. I do see a lot of black people, like church and school and stuff. Like it was a lot of black people, but it was like a military base. Now going to Louisville, I did see more black people, but when I lived in Bowling Green, baby, I about seen one black person.
Yeah, see,
So
I'm from Frankfurt, the capital, so
mhm.
you are not gonna see a lot of black people. Like the black people you're gonna see, like I knew them, I grew up with them, like I know them, like that's it. But you're not gonna see any like new faces, and you're just not gonna
But that's
see a lot.
crazy because y'all even have HBCU in Frankfurt.
Yeah, but a lot of those individuals were on the campus. They didn't really go out in the community and stuff like that. A lot of them were college students. They didn't really like have cars and stuff like that. So you didn't really see them a lot. Like we had an HBCU, but they were on their campus. They're not roaming around the city of Frankfurt because the city of Frankfurt is white.
Yeah. That's And then, so moving to Atlanta, that was really a shock that I want to talk about. The culture shock is like when I started doing, like, I talked about this a lot of my other episodes,
Yeah.
like doing DoorDash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like every corner, I was like, oh my gosh, there's black people. Like, there's black people in these stores. And
Yeah.
it's like, I could really go a couple days without seeing black people when I was in Bowling Green. But, like, baby, these stores, these places that you go to in Atlanta, like, you always going to see a black person. So I
You're
thought
always
that
gonna see.
was
Yeah. One thing I will say though, when you're in the city, so for anybody who ever wants to move to Baltimore or something, when you're in the city of Baltimore, that's very black. Maryland
interesting.
is not. Maryland, like where I live and like stay at, which is 20 minutes north of Baltimore, that reminds me, I drive around, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm in Kentucky. And it was funny because I went to go get my car done and I got like a ride back from the shuttle, and the man was telling me, like, I was like, well, have you seen a difference? Because he's been here all his life, and he was telling me that yeah, it was very agriculture back in like whatever the 70s or 60s, whenever he was talking about, like back some time ago, was very agriculture, and now he's seen Maryland become very like city like, and so that's really and that's really an interesting aspect. I was like, oh yeah, Maryland is right.
I'm crying. Sounds like it's a girl. Maryland. That's how you're saying it.
Yeah. Emphasis on
And then yes, Louisville, like where we're from,
the
the small cities, we don't even have highways. So it's just like streets. And there's just like one highway in Louisville. So like I mean it's like
right,
two, but
right,
like
right. Yeah,
you
and
get to
even in
these bigger
Louisville,
cities, baby,
yeah.
they got this west, north, east, but I'd be like, I'm confused. I'm lost.
Girl, like yeah, Louisville
They
is
be
just
like
a couple.
tolls and stuff. What?
Oh
Tolls?
yeah, toes has been kicked. Yeah, toes kicks your butt. Yeah, that's something in the East Coast. You're gonna have toes within your city, and you're gonna have toes outside of your city.
Like
So
that's just crazy.
but I found a hack to it. If the people want to know, there's a hack. There's really, you got to watch the time difference, because I was thinking like, oh, there's a big time difference. It's really like a 10-minute extra to go the part that is not toll. Some other cities, somebody else was telling me that like, if you look at the no toll, is an extra hour. Here, it's really an extra like 10 to 20 minutes. So if you have spare an extra 10 to 20 minutes, do that.
Save your toll money, baby. Like ass.
Yeah.
And then you said one more. What was the last one that you said?
Um, I said the highways, and I said black people.
You said one more.
Oh, mannerisms
Manners,
and
yeah.
stuff like, yes,
Yes, yes.
mannerisms.
And they try to say the South has that, baby. Atlanta do not got that. They don't be speaking for real, but in Kentucky, that's why it's so interesting to me. They're like, oh, Kentucky's the South Midwest, whatever. I'm like, Atlanta, they don't have no Southern hospitality, because I go and I speak to people and stuff like that. That's just like me, who I am in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Down here, some people speak, not everybody, and they sure don't even let you in. So they don't got no Southern hospitality in Atlanta.
No, but yes, they have it like in like Kentucky, and that's like Louisville, that's Frankfurt. I mean, especially
Like,
when the
ooh, they'll
smaller.
let you in. Like, thank you,
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
They'll let you in and then tell you that it's closed, but at least they let you in, you know? And so
Well, I was
if
talking about like in the lanes.
oh, in the lanes.
You talking about in the store?
I didn't even think about driving. Driving here is that they just go around you. Like I just learned that they just go around you. If you doing something stupid, if you standing at the light for a long time, or if you not going on the highway, they're just going around you. There's not really no honking here because they just already surpassed you.
I'm weak.
So
I need to move there
they're
because
not
I
telling
hate
you to
honking.
move. What'd you say?
I said I hate honking. I need to move there.
Yes, I hate honking. I hate honking, and I thought that I was gonna hear it a lot, and it's not here because the person already said, "Forget you. I'm going to honk the other
Okay.
way." Okay, and then just like how people like talk to you here, like they will like literally legit ignore you, and they're very like, "What do you need?" Like type of stuff, you know, like, and they're like answering yes or no, like, "Oh, I need this. Where is it?" And they're like, "Right there, right here."
Yikes.
There's no like, oh, let me take you and let me. You might find the one or few people that may do that, but it's no like, let me show you, honey, or come over here. Let me show you. Let me show you the different options. No, it's right over there. It's over there. You see it? You don't see it? We
And
ain't
I'd be
got it.
like, right over there, where? I need somebody to walk me to where it's at.
Exactly. They're not doing that here. They're not doing that. So you gotta. It's kind of like you gotta get a little bit of like a tougher skin because someone might tell you to move, or someone is just people are just going while you're standing there trying to look everywhere. Everybody is passing you by. Nobody's thinking like, you need anything? You good? Nah. Workers, anybody. So that's really different because I'm used to like, can you help me please? And
Okay,
they're
that's
like,
where they be like, do you need any help? Did you find everything? They be like, hope you
yes.
find everything.
So yeah, that's been really
And
different.
if you didn't, don't ask me no questions.
Don't ask me no more questions. It's a yes or a no, and that just is what it is. So I've had a lot of instances where I'm just like, okay, I'll figure it out, or okay, thanks, and not like
Bye.
going
I'm
any
asking
further
questions. That's rude.
because people don't go any further with you. It's like I know when I'm welcomed, and I can tell when I'm welcomed and stuff like that. And I'm a very person like if I'm not welcome, I'll just figure it out or I'll just leave. Like I'm not finna keep going with you because you
See, the
telling me yes or
Southerners need
no.
to move up north, and the Northerners need to quit moving down south. That's
Right,
the
right.
issue. Because they
That's
come down here and they be rude.
rude and nasty because they're bringing that
Mentality. No, we
grimy
don't do
that
that down
mentality,
here.
that very like I
And
don't
then
know
the
the good
Southerners be shook because I'm moving. I'm like, what?
what
What
is
is
going on.
this?
I'm used to
Okay.
someone else. Yeah, so that's the differences.
That's crazy. That's interesting. Well, it's cool that you already picked up on there. How long have you been in Baltimore?
I've been in Baltimore. What is today's date? It has not been 2 months yet, so next week will be 2 months.
I'm not too much on the dates because this is coming out later.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay.
Well, yeah,
About time they
I'm
hear this.
a month and a month, and like next week will be a month. So next week will be 2 months. So like yeah, a month, almost 2 months.
So, what made you move to Baltimore?
Well, so opportunities. Okay, I'll break it down. One, I visited it last year with you actually and my sister, and
It was our first time in Baltimore.
that was my first
Me and
time.
her sister was like, no, ma'am.
Yeah, that was my first time in Baltimore, and I really liked it because I've always wanted to live in Maryland for some reason. That's because I visited before and went to Virginia and different places in the DMV, family, church. I've been around here, and I've just always liked the East Coast, Jersey, and things like that. So I've always been like. Ever since I was like a little girl, I was like, I want to move to the East Coast. I want to move to Maryland. Then I watched Real House of Potomac, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to move to Maryland. Like, I want to be there and stuff like that. And so coming when we went on the trip, I was like, oh, I really like it. So fast forward to earlier this year or whatever, I was like, okay, I've always wanted to move out of Kentucky. I just, just sometimes it's not your timing. Like God is like, this is not your timing. Your timing will come. So I just was like, well, I really need to move. I got my year of doing my previous job and what I wanted to do there and being in my field and things like that. And I was like, it's just time for me to move. So I like made a list of different cities or different states that I really wanted to move to. It was more like states, honestly, but different states that I'm like, okay, I see myself moving in. I'll put the DMV area. So when I looked for jobs, I was like, yeah, these are the places. I ain't looking nowhere else because no, I'm not entertaining nothing else. I'm entertaining these places, and
So,
so
what was the places? Just the DMV?
no, the places were. I was trying to pull up my list to make sure. No, it was Arizona, it was California, Chicago, uh, New York, and then the East Coast, and then Texas.
Oh,
Because Texas is like its own freaking country. So I was like, there's multiple cities in Texas. Like I wouldn't mind just living in Texas or whatever. And then yeah, so then there was like the DMV. Really more so like DC, Maryland. I'm not really into going to Virginia. Um, I'm gonna move to Virginia. I might as well stay in Kentucky. But so then yeah, and then I like in Philly. And Philly was another one. So I originally got a job in Philly and things like that, but then this opportunity came, got an interview, and I was like, this is a way better opportunity of like where I'm gonna work at, what I'm gonna do, and just the team that I was gonna work with, the people I interviewed with, they were really nice people and stuff like that. And it was so funny. Not funny, but just God, because I got an interview the last day of my job. That was when my interview was my second interview with the director of my program. And it was my second interview. And I was like, she was like, "Oh, I really enjoyed you. I want you to come work at it." And I'm like, "Wow, like I'm actually leaving my job today. Today's my last day of my job." And then I got the job. So I had to tell the other job, like, yeah, I'm not going to be coming there. I don't know if they were too happy or not. Oh, well. And I was like, this is a better opportunity. Been praying about it, been thinking about it, and really wanting it for like my career advancement and what I want to do for my community. So I was like, this is the better option. And yeah, I like the DMV and the stuff like that. So things kind of moved a little fast for me, but God still
yeah.
has
So
the
let's
next.
tap into that because you was like you already had a job. You was planning you was going to go do this job.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any like second guesses? Like, oh, I actually really want this
No,
job. Like,
not at all. I really did not. No, I didn't. When I interviewed the second interview, because like the first interview for my job right now, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do it because I was like, I still no, I hadn't accepted the other job, but I was like, I don't know, but I was like, I'm just gonna take it. Why not? Why not just take an interview? Like, oh, I encourage people like always look for a job. I don't know, like you always look for a job, always look for interviews, always look for different opportunities. Like you never know what can come out of it. Don't like tell yourself because I'm somewhere I gotta stay here until like the time is up here. Like just always be on the lookout for things, sharpen your skills or whatever the case may be. And so then when the second interview came up, I was always open to like if I find a better opportunity or something more closer to me or something with a little bit more money or anything like that. I still was like, I'm gonna keep the first job because I still really like that job. Like, don't get me wrong, I still really enjoyed that job too. But this second job just had more benefits, the team, the money, the city, and what I was doing was going to be a little bit more beneficial than what I was going to do over at the other place. So I was like, oh, why not? And I was like, I can't turn this down. And it came on the last day of me leaving my other job. I was like, I can't turn this down. Like, I cannot.
oh, okay. So were you like nervous? How was the transition? So you had to move. So like, how was that transitioning from Kentucky to Baltimore?
um, what do you mean, like the actual moving
Like,
process,
yeah,
or?
yeah, yeah. Like, finding an apartment since you like said no to the other job or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So you had to like
Yeah,
find an apartment. You had to like move. You had to like start your job and stuff like that. So, how was that process? Like, how was you feeling during that?
yeah. What's funny? I really haven't talked to a lot of people about it, but what's funny was that I was looking for. So my other option was Philly, was I was going to move to Philadelphia, and so I was not finding an apartment. I mean, I was finding, but I wasn't finding an apartment. I had to keep going to Philly because where I was going to work at, you have to do a whole bunch of background checks. I'm sure people probably know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to give that organization any name. And so,
Okay, no free promo.
yeah, because I don't want no problems with it. Oh no, but anyway, so I wasn't really finding any. Like I was finding luck, but it was like, okay, I gotta go. Philly's 10 hours from Kentucky, okay, and Baltimore's 8 hours. So there's that. It was like
Okay.
I wasn't really finding anything there, and really like it's interesting. Just like been praying, and just when I reflect back, I wasn't really like feeling it, but I knew it was one, a way to get out of Kentucky, and two, it was doing what I wanted to do. Like I told God, like I want this specific kind of job because this is where I see myself. This is where I see myself going God, is this where you see me going? Like, this is where I want to go, and this is going to be the steps to it. So I was willing to like take some of the things that was going to come with that job, and I actually liked the job. Like, it was flexible, it was really cool, but I just wasn't really feeling it. Like, I wasn't really looking. I wasn't doing anything. I was gonna have to stay with somebody for a while because it's just Philly's so big, and finding somewhere, it was not a headache because I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. But the transition to Baltimore, like I said, it's an 8-hour drive, so it's easier to kind of get to Baltimore a little bit. Go to Kentucky, West Virginia, and you're in Maryland. So it's just three. It's just a state in between. What's it called, Maryland and Kentucky, while Philly was like 2 states, Ohio and West Virginia. Whew. So I was like, we're gonna go, and I picked a weekend because I hadn't been working. I actually been off work for September 2nd was my last day, and I was off work until I moved here in October. And I was like, Mom, sister, because I moved with my sister. Woo-hoo. I was like, Mom, sister, like, we got it. Well, actually, my mom was like this. Her type A, but she was like, you guys gotta go find a place. Like, you guys gotta find a place. Like, you guys gotta get it together and go find a place. So I'm like, I'm just gonna look on the internet. She's like, no, we're gonna go look at places. So we got up.
Yes, Mama, let it get it together.
We got up. We went and looked at a place in Baltimore. So there's Baltimore City, which is like Baltimore City, and it's kind of the downtown area. Not really. There's just different things around there. And that one, if your viewer, if you know your viewers, if your listeners come and go to Baltimore, they'll see what I'm talking about. And it's interesting. There's cute. It's really cute. There's really different cute parts, but it can be kind of expensive. Like, it's just metro cities. You just know what it is. East Coast is expensive. So we stayed at a hotel that was like 20 minutes north where we're at now. And I was like, oh, there's some cute places here. I like this area. The mall's down the street. Okay. Target, TJ Maxx. Oh, wow. My stores. Chick-fil-A, Qdoba.
Kroger.
There's no Kroger, but you know what? It is what it is. Grocery store. There's a grocery store not too far away. So I said, let me look at the apartments around here. We looked at the apartments around here. And then I was like, oh, okay. We were like, all right, we like the apartments here. They're reasonably priced, and you get a little bit more bang for your buck than you would being in the city. You didn't even know where you was about to park in the city. There's a whole bunch of hoopla. Even though my job is in the city, that I was like, I'm willing to drive 20 minutes to just go down to work, and I don't have to go to work every day anyway. So there's that. So, and then we just picked out a place. So that was an easy transition to find apartments. It was easier to find places to live here than it was in Philly, just because Philly's so big and there's so many types of different kind of housing in Philly. And really here it's like apartments or like houses. In Philly is like, you could live in this kind of thing, live in this kind of thing, and I wasn't gonna do all that. Like, food transitions.
So when it came to apartment hunting, were there like any non-negotiables that you had?
Yes. It had to be 2 bedroom, 2 bath, because me and my sister, we were not sharing a bathroom.
I'm weak.
We just don't do that. So we're in 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and then I had to have a washer and dryer because I don't know the city. And to be quite honest, I have not seen any laundromats. So really honestly, I don't see any laundromats. So it had to have a washer and dryer because I don't know the city. I'm not gonna go, and I don't like community washer and dryers. Yeah. So that was another one, and it had. This was a funny one, but I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because it has to have a clubhouse, like some kind of place where I can go down and talk to a leasing agent. Because I lived in an apartment complex that did not have a clubhouse, and let me tell you, you cannot find your leasing agent nowhere to get any kind of help. So I said, we have to have a leasing agent. Like, we have to have a clubhouse. It gotta have some kind of. It ain't gotta got all the amenities in the world, but it gotta have some kind of amenities because
Do you have amenities?
I do have amenities. So I have like a pool. I have a gym. We have where our mailboxes, we have like a package place, and then they have like a game room downstairs, and they have a theater room. Come to find out, that's $75. um
Oh,
it's like $20 an hour or some shit like that, something like that. Sorry, I apologize. Some ish like that. So I was like, but yeah, so we have those amenities, and then we have I think it's 24-hour maintenance, or like 24-hour maintenance. Obviously they're not coming around like 9 p.m, but if you have like some kind of leak, like the maintenance man is there. I think one or two of them live here, so that's always good. Like, those things, like, my sister's really big on maintenance. Has to be like 24 hours or very active maintenance, just because things happen and you can't find your maintenance man, you know, so making sure that was good. So yeah, so I was like, definitely you have to like, for me, I think that's a really big thing in an apartment complex, because when they say that their leasing office is like down the road, or you can't find a leasing office or anything, you can't go downstairs and just find them. That really does sometimes show the quality of where you're living, because like if I can't find you, where am I going to find you when I'm in an emergency? And
Mm-hmm.
that's not, and and we're living in somewhere that I don't. It's only me and my sister here, like no
Yeah.
family and stuff. We're women. I just can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes when I be going looking for apartments, I be like to the leasing agent, "Do you live here? Do you live here? Because if they live here, then you know it's going to be kind of better than if they don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they be quick. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, so I
Yeah,
need you to
I
have
do ask that too. That's funny. I do ask, do you live here? Some people say yes, and some people say they live in a house because they have like kids and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that
I
makes
know. I feel like it's a security question. I feel like too many people ask, but I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me your building. I'm just asking, like, do you live on the property? You know,
sense. Mm-hmm. Or
because
yeah,
that could
some
be
people might say
something.
they live in a sister property or something. Maybe they're lying,
Yeah.
and maybe they're telling the
Uh-huh.
truth. But I get it. It's not a. I get it. Like I would be kind of like what, but I also get it from the other point of like, no, I need to know like.
Yeah, because I don't know if you really ask that question. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
get it from security things, but no, I'm asking because I want to know.
I want to know if you live here, and
Like, do
honestly, I
you
want to
like
know.
it?
Mm-hmm, and I want to know if the maintenance man lives here.
Okay. So speaking about non-negotiables for the apartment, that was really, really great. I'm
Mm-hmm.
cracking up about the clubhouse, but I understand. What about for the city? Did you have any non-negotiables for the city?
Okay. Oh, that's a good. Did I have any non-negotiables? I probably had some like subconsciously, but like I didn't realize it. But just like a bigger city. Like Louisville was great. Like I said, I came from Frankfurt, then to Louisville, then to here. Louisville was great, but just like a little bit bigger of a city that had some more things going. It felt like when I left Louisville is when stuff was popping. Is when stuff was going on. I was like, well, shoot. What was going on before then? But I think I started getting to know more people. But so just like a city that just has a little bit more going on. Oh, a city that I can get to different places. In like a 4 hour span. So that was one thing about Louisville, was that I could get to major cities in 4 hours. Like Chicago was 4 hours. Indianapolis was what's it called, 2 hours. Even like go to Detroit. I mean, not everybody go there. Go to Detroit for 5 hours, go to Atlanta for six, and different things like that. So that was really nice. I feel like I was in a really good area there. So coming to the DMV, that's the thing a lot of people sold at the apartment complex is like, it's nice to live in Baltimore because you can get to New York City in 3 hours. And yeah, and it's true. You can get to Jersey in two, you can get to DC in 45 minutes, and Philly in an hour and a half, and stuff like that. And even I've heard that you can get to like Charlotte in 5 or 6 hours. I was like, well, that's nice. And Boston in 6 hours. And so I think when I think
Like
it even,
centrally located?
even when I think of my next location, I want somewhere that is centrally located that I can get to different cities. Good. I know a lot of people in Texas say like, you go, you're going six
Yeah.
hours and you're still in Texas, but it
Yeah,
depends on the
and
next
Florida.
Texas
So I'm
city.
like, and California. So it's
In
like,
California, yeah. But you know what? At least with those two states, that they're, you can go to like new big cities too. So I would
yeah.
give them that, right? While like some places like
There's only one big city.
Omaha, Nebraska, or something like that. I'm not gonna play people from Omaha.
That's true. There's a lot of black people in there.
There is a lot of like where is maybe next you could go, I don't know. And so thinking of that, so that was something that I liked. It's something I didn't, public transportation was nice. I have a car, so I mean that wasn't really a big deal. But I can see public transportation being nice. For instance, if I want to go to these really big metropolitan. So living in Louisville, those other cities I was going to, you need a car. But living in over here, these other metropolitan cities, you may not want to take a car because that can be more of a hassle. But I can hop on a train or hop on a bus for like $20-$40 to get to another metro. So that's pretty big. And then I wanted somewhere that focused on what I want to do. So I'm in mental health, and I'm in health. Just really all around health is what I work in. Healthcare assistance is what I work in. So I was looking for cities that are more progressive in those kind of fields. And I know that like with the Maryland, the DMV area, even just the East Coast, they do, and even like because Boston has really nice hospitals. Like you healthcare is really big here, and healthcare is something that people focus a lot on here. And the mental health care is, especially where I'm at, is something that they focus on, and they have really good like insurance and different ways. And so I wanted to like really build community and build connections in that. And I think that that was a driving factor for me too. Is like career wise, I can see myself like going further, and I could see myself going further in the city of Louisville. I couldn't see myself going further in the state of Kentucky.
Oh yikes! That was a great perspective. How were you able to like research that, or like how did you know like, oh, this will be good? Like they focus on this or they focus on that. Like how did you know that?
Uh,
Um, like with
um,
your research, like how did you research that?
Yeah, I researched that. Just seeing, first of all, what's really big to me is blue and red states. Okay, that's really big to me because
Okay, let's talk about it.
we know that blue states are more quote unquote, whatever. Like politics is politics, sure. But blue states are more progressive. So one thing also that I did tell myself, and I didn't add it, is that I'm looking to move to blue states. Now I know I said Texas, I know I
Yeah.
said Arizona, but that's because those are warm states, and I like to be warm. Okay, but really now that I'm talking to people, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go there. I'm probably just gonna head to California. But
I'm
the
crying.
east is mainly blue, so they're progressive, so they're like really progressive states, and they are by some of their policies and some of their laws. Like we just elected the first black governor, and I think it's been
Period.
the first black governor in Maryland, and the second black governor, second or third black governor in the nation, like ever. That is amazing. I don't know all that he's about to do because I'm still learning it, but that is amazing. He seems like he's really part of his community. He's in like Greek world, so I know maybe there he's probably going to have community based work from there too. So that was something that was really big to me, and a lot of the blue states do focus on, they have like really good health insurance. I just like kind of looked it up, like what are some of their health policies. I know there's really nice hospitals here, and really nice healthcare here. I'm learning from family and friends that live here, my mom telling me about different people that lived here. A lot of people I know, friends that I know, are like nurses or doctors. They move out here, or they live out here. They're from the DMV area, they stay and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I have a good sense that they care about their health up and through here, and they care about education too. On the east, they say the south is for the sports and the east is for the education, and so that was like
Who?
something. If you want your kid
Because
to
the
be a
South
star,
show don't. These boys don't know how to read, dog. They don't know how to do nothing down here.
you want your son to be a star, you bring him to Florida, Texas, you get him that. You want him to be a football star, whatever. But you want him to be super smart, then you. I'm not saying that they don't have that there, but you're gonna bring him to the East. That's where you got your Ivy Leagues, your really big institutions and stuff like that. So I was like,
Mm.
that's really important to me, and just researching that, looking at like the different universities with different healthcare systems, and like what I wanted to do with mental health, looking at, well, there is. I was, you're looking for a therapist. You're gonna find one in every corner you need here, black, white, blue, whatever. So
Ooh, not
that's
blue.
so that was really, really big for me, and was like, yeah, I gotta find somewhere that I'm gonna advance, like in my career and my purpose.
So, do you feel like the reason you moved is working out? Like, do you feel like you're gonna be able to advance and like progress?
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it really will work, in like being able to connect with people, or being able to find new opportunities. It just seems like if I don't find it in Maryland, like I could find it in DC, I could find it in New York, I could find it like, excuse me, in Philly or something like that. So excuse me. So I really do think, hopeful, that I can build those connections and really build, even where I work at now. Excuse me. I am building those opportunities there, and those connections there, while I'm going to different programming, or even just talking to my supervisor. She's always like, I know I'm not exactly all you want to do, but if you need help getting to the next thing, she's like, I will help you get there and stuff like that. And that was really what was nice in my interview. The other job that I was going to get to, she was just like that too. So that's always, I was like, okay, the East, they really want to, move you forward. While I feel like my other job in Kentucky, my boss, she was nice to me. She wasn't nice to other people per se. And it didn't seem like she wanted really growth. Like it felt like, because she had been at the company for 30 years, that like everybody should be at this company for 30 years. And nobody wants to do that. Like nobody wants to do that.
That's good
Um,
too. I was gonna add like supportive bosses. So, like, you feel like your boss is more supportive now?
yeah. Yeah, my other boss, I wouldn't say See, I speak for myself. My other boss, she really liked me. I don't know, she liked me. She didn't like them other people, and I don't like a boss like that. Like, I don't care how much you like. I mean, I do care how much you like me, but you need to treat everybody else the same. And everybody else just was not getting that same respect from her, and that
How did
really,
you notice that? Like, what made you?
yes, I noticed that. I noticed that in meetings and how she would even talk to people, certain people in meetings, and how she would treat certain people, and then talking to others. Co-workers and stuff, and what she would say to them, and the things that she was saying like hurt them. And like me, I mean, I have pretty tough skin, but every tough skin can break and can shatter and it can peel. And so I was like, you're not finna talk to me no type of way. Even when I told her I was leaving,
Okay.
she was like, she was feeling a little some type of way about it, but she was supportive, and she was supportive in that sense or whatever. And she feels like I'm gonna come back. Girl, I'm not coming back to Kentucky, but unless Kentucky gonna pay me really nice. And stuff like that. So I just felt like the job, the company, they don't believe in growth. Even when like during the pandemic, they were so honed in on like, we gonna come back, 100%. And then I'm like, it's a pandemic, you can't come back from, like, we can't come back 100%. Like, you cannot do the same policies and procedures you did pre-pandemic. That's what got us to the pandemic. Like, that kind of stuff was like, you guys are not progressive. There's nowhere else to go after this position. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's not really growth from this position. I feel like my new job, there's growth within the position. My supervisor, we've talked about it. And then she's like, and then when you ready to leave out here, I'm ready to support your next step. Like, she's not someone that's like, stay here forever. Even though she's been there for a minute, she's not someone that's like very like, I want you to grow and go to the next stage of your life, and I want to help you get there. And I'm like, that's
Yeah, we love
exactly
that.
what, yeah, that's what we want. We don't want someone that wants you to stay at the company forever so that I can work under you and you make money and I'm like sitting here. No.
Mm. Yeah, that's cool too. Having a supportive boss, someone like that, like, oh, like looking for ways to, okay, you can do this, you can do that, instead of just like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm doing a job, but I'm really not getting anywhere. So that's great. So we already kind of talked about it. So we're just gonna stay on the topic of money.
Okay.
Um, I would say, did you ask for a relocation package, or were you just like, you saved up money? You were just like, I'm making this move because how you said that you always wanted to move out of Kentucky. Were you like saving already, or how was
Um,
that for you?
no, no, I was not saving because I wasn't making anything to save. Um, I was not
Millennials.
saving. I wasn't saving because I wasn't making nothing to save. But so no, I wasn't really like saving. I was just like, I really was just like, I need to get up out of here. I wanted to get up out of here in 2020 after I graduated, but that was like, okay, that wasn't my time. God was saying it wasn't my time. And then me too, I was like, yeah, let me just give myself a year in this kind of position. I think I was a therapist. I'll just say that I was a therapist. And I was like, let me get a year into this. I think this is going to it's going to open space for a bunch of other things too. So I just gave myself a year. And then I was like, but in 2022, I got to get out of Kentucky. So I didn't really save. I was just like really looking at different places. And like I said, I didn't really have the money to like save like that. Of course, I saved here and there, but like nothing I could do too big. Um, and then so I got the position or whatever. I did ask for a relocation package. I think it's not a bad thing. They say ask for more. My supervisor, I mean, she interviewed me. She was like, how much you want? And I was like, well, this is what I want. And so we tried for it. And then we didn't get all the way there, got close enough but not all the way there. But she was like, I'm gonna I want you to get more money, so we're gonna work on ways to get more money. It's
Oh,
really
for your
like,
relocation or for like your salary?
I was talking about for my salary. I'll talk about the relocation in a second. So it's
Oh,
really
okay,
like
okay. Oh, so
system.
she asked you how much you won for your salary?
Yeah, she was
Baby,
like, how
never
much
asked that question. $1 million.
right, and just asking that, because she told me what she was going to give, and then she was like, how much you want and stuff like that. And she's like, I'm going to try and shoot for that. But the thing is, I've realized with that, and that helped me learn that it's like systematic things. Like, my other job, like, it's systematic. They want to see that you're doing this job in order to give you money. Like, they don't just want to give people money. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's really like, what do you do? What have you done? And then we'll give you money. And I'm like, okay, that's good too, I guess. But I was just like, dang, like, maybe I just need something because the cost of living is up. Like, what you talking about?
Okay.
Why do I have to feel like I have to work this kind of thing to get this kind of whatever? But I'm not complaining
Because your
there.
worth is
Yeah.
valued in what you do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Just not just being a human being, I guess. So that's hard. But and so then I did ask for a relocation package. I didn't get a relocation package. I didn't get like any relocation package, but I work for a university, so um, yeah, they say budgets are tight, whatever. So budgets are tight, but that's okay. I got like some time to work like remotely until I like moved in and settle and transition and stuff like that. And I said, okay, that's fine. That was nice. I needed that because that gave me an extra like 2 or 3 weeks to like still figure stuff out and pack up and stuff like that. So that was nice. Yeah, they didn't give me.
That's good because they're like, oh, we're paying your relocation. You got to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, right? The previous job before, I did ask them for a relocation package. Did they give me one? They did, but I'm gonna say be careful on, not be careful on relocation packages, but kind of be careful on relocation packages because they, some jobs will make you pay that back. I just spoke to a friend of mine and a couple people, and even the job when they sent me that, oh, you can get a relocation package, but you gotta like work a certain for this many days or stay with the company this many days, or if you don't exceed the terms of this employment, you may have to pay the relocation back. So read in your relocation terms and conditions what they say, because you got to be careful. It's not free money they're giving you. So just
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, so did you? So, but you didn't take it for the other job, or you did?
well, I accepted it and I was like, thanks. I was like, sure. And so I accepted the position, but I hadn't started any onboarding, any nothing of that job. So when I said I'm not coming to the job, I really didn't sign no nothing. I did sound like, oh, I'm gonna come to this job, but like I didn't go any further with it. So I wasn't even an employee in the system yet. So there's nothing they could have done there.
Okay, well, that's good to know. um, so with that being said, how much was your expenses? Like, you can give a ballpark. Like, you don't have to give like exact, but like a range. To relocate. Like, if you think about your apartment, I know that you said that you stay with your sister, so if you like half or whatever, but like with like U-Haul driving stuff, like how much did it cost to relocate from Kentucky to Baltimore?
I haven't. Did I do a final total? I have so much things. Oh, I didn't like add it up. I do have like a things for listing. I make a lot of lists. I'm a list girl.
Well,
List
let's talk about organization. Okay, you be organized.
I'm a little list girl. I ain't no Excel girl just yet. I'm gonna get there one day. But I'm a list girl and I like to check off things. But I don't know a ballpark. Yes, okay, so U-Hauls are expensive because they want to guarantee their 6, 7, 5, 4 days. And so you may only move in a day at U-Haul, but they're gonna charge you like $700, $800, especially depending on where you're moving. I would say with the U-Haul, depending on where you're moving. So moving from Kentucky to Baltimore, they calculated their own distance, whatever. And then it was like seven. Well, we did Penske. Penske's a cheaper option than U-Haul, but U-Haul do have movers, like not they don't have movers. You go on the U-Haul thing and you can look for moving companies and get you some movers like that. So that's one thing that I think is a really good tip. Like them people that are like these mover companies and stuff like that, they'll give you a price. They'll say, oh, we're $200, but really I don't even know where that $200 comes from, because after they're done it's like $800 or whatever. But you can get people that up what is it called, upload your truck and unload your truck. And that's what we got. That's like a strategic plan. Because I was like, I did need it, but I was like, I don't have the money for it. I don't need someone to pack. I don't need someone to pack my stuff and move my stuff. I really just need you to pick my stuff up and put it in the truck. And and then when I get there, I just need you to take my stuff out of the truck
So
and move
you
my stuff.
drove the U-Haul truck?
So
Like,
we drove. I did not drive. My brother drove, but yes.
oh, well,
Yes,
someone
we
drove,
drove to the mall.
not the people.
Yes, we drove it. And so there, and then we had to get internet and cable. I mean, yeah, internet. We had to get internet, and that is the East Coast are only on Verizon and Xfinity. They don't have no AT&T, but or no Spectrum. But yeah, so that was that's about it was about like $80 a month for some dang internet, and we needed good internet because we work from home. So or my sister works from home and I work from home occasionally, so you do need some really good internet, or you're gonna be crying every day. And let's see, and then our lease. So the ballpark, and there's two of us, yeah. So like 2000. 500, 2600, something like that. And that's really just a ballpark because I feel like maybe there's some other things that were added in between there. But remind you, I say that that's all together me and my sister. But we split that half. So maybe individually it was like
Mm.
15, 1700 or something like that individually, ballpark. Plus, just different fees that you have in between that I don't remember adding them into it, like renter's insurance and all that stuff. So about something like that for for us. Um,
Okay. Do you feel like you would have moved by yourself if your sister didn't come?
yeah, I would have
Uh,
moved. I would have moved because the opportunities that I wanted, I just wasn't getting them in Kentucky, and I wanted to get out of Kentucky. It's not that I just wasn't getting them. Actually, I didn't really see those kind of jobs in Kentucky, anyways. But I wanted to move, so I would have moved without my sister. My sister, like we said, like my sister originally wasn't gonna come out to Baltimore or whatever, but same thing of like I want to get out and like let me get out now, and I don't know how long she's gonna be here, and so it's like, but yeah, I would have definitely moved without her. Would it have been a little bit more costly? Sure, but
yeah.
it is what it is. I still would have moved without her and navigated this thing without her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so if someone is thinking about moving, you gave the ballpark of like transition. How much do you think someone, or what's the salary range? I know you did 2 bedrooms, but do you know what the range, not the salary, the range for 1 bedrooms are in Baltimore? Or
Mm,
not really? You can do 2 bedrooms then if you don't know one.
no, I would say the range for a 1 bedroom in Baltimore. Probably from like 1400 to like 1900 or something like that.
Okay.
And that okay, and then I have to split it. So Baltimore City depends. Okay, it's all different.
Is
So
that
Baltimore,
downtown?
yeah,
Okay.
no, no, it's just the city. So I live in Baltimore County, but I don't live
Oh.
in the city. It's like metro,
Oh.
and things like that. So Baltimore City, that may be a little bit more expensive because that's the city life or whatever the case may be. So maybe that's probably still 1400, unless that's like apartment complex. Maybe if you get like a house or something and you're splitting it with 3 people, I don't know what that range is to be quite honest. Or if you're splitting it with one other roommate or something like that, or if you got you a little miniature kind of house or like a room up top. I don't really know how much those go for, but I would say apartment complexes and decent, nice ones, because there's different kinds. Yeah, I would say probably like a 14, like a 1300, maybe 12, not 1300 to about like 1800 or something like that, depending on where you, yeah, as an individual. That's a really big range, but that's because I'm thinking of like Baltimore City, what like just different places that I've seen.
Okay. Okay. So the next part we're going to talk about community. So I know that you kind of just got there, so I don't think like you might be already adjusted and settled, but I don't know if you like found your community. Do you feel like you're adjusted though?
um, Adjusted is in the sense of like I found like the grocery store, and I
Mm-hmm.
found different like where to maybe go eat restaurant wise, different activities and things like that way. But maybe not adjusted as like finding, excuse me, finding people and finding community. Yeah, that's something I haven't really found. I literally like my coworkers, and those are people that I would like hang out with, but they're kind of a little bit older. They're not that much older actually. They're
Oh,
just
okay.
we're 2 of them are moving. 2 of them are like we're graduate students, and so they're moving or whatever the case may be. And so I was like those two. I would probably they're about my age range. The other ones are like really have like husbands and stuff like that.
I'm with
Husbands
you.
and kids, and they're a little bit older and stuff like that. So I think, but I
Other
don't
responsibilities.
other responsibilities than going out with me. But not to say that I don't think they wouldn't. I'm just someone that like it just takes me a while to kind of like adjust to people, and I have to really figure out like, okay, would you be cool to hang out with? Because not everybody is cool to hang out with. Trust. Um, and I'm weird, and I like to do things and be like chilling vibe. I don't know. I'm just a really weird person. So, anyways, um, I wouldn't say I have found community yet. I don't think it's something hard to I don't know if it's hard or not to find it here. There's a lot of like universities in the area, so I think a lot of people can connect because they're like students and things like that.
Hmm.
And then there's like a lot of like there's like hospitals and different kind of things. I think people connect in that kind of way. So it's really me trying to navigate. I think people start from like work or school life, and that's how they kind of build their community here in Baltimore. While like DC, you may like walk down the street and you can find the next person. Not really like that here in Baltimore. It's probably people that you like have similar hobbies to, or like work in the same kind of field with.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because how you were talking about how like you're ready to leave Louisville. You're like, I feel like a lot of things are happening now. That's how I feel kind of now. Like I'm ready to leave Atlanta, but I feel like now I'm like, oh my gosh, but I see this, I see that, I see this. So it's like, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like okay, I still gotta go.
Yeah, I heard that. I've heard that from multiple things, and I think before even moving and stuff like that, that it takes 2 years for you to like build that community or build that or kind of really navigate and figure it out. Actually, I just went to like a staff meeting, a bigger staff meeting at my job, and there was like me and this other guy. We just had started close around, and they were like, "Yeah, so give it a year to adjust." And I was like, "Oh, a year? Oh,
Right.
you got about another year left of me."
Okay. Period. Like what? So yeah, so community is still something that you're working on. But I was like having your sister, I feel like that's kind of cool because it's like you have someone to do things with and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
You're not out there
Yeah.
like by
And we moved,
yourself.
mind you, we also moved in the colder months, like October. That doesn't mean anything, but like we moved like October, and now it's November, and now it's the holidays, people going home. It's kind of cold and stuff. So I think like I estimate this starting like April, May. You know, when people are more outside and you can really pick up a random from outside because it's like we outside now, like, you know, and I know the DMV's lit when it's outside right now, everybody cold in their jacket trying to get home. So
Okay, period. I'm weak. So yeah, that's something, we'll circle back on. That's kind of interesting. What do you think the most important factor is when it comes to moving?
um for me, and what I will say is that make sure it's what is on your path and what is on your plan, right? Like I say that to say is like make sure that you know you have your conversations with God, you pray, and you really think of like what is your path and what is your plan of what you want to do and what God wants you to do. Honestly, first and foremost, it's not really your plan; it's His plan. But what He wants you to do and what you want to do, and make sure that is on the path. Like I think move to move and sure have fun, but make sure it's strategic. Like make sure it's not just no move because I'm trying to be a thought on the beach in California or something like that. Which you can be fine. You can be that. No thought shaming over here, but just make sure it's strategic.
You're about to get
Think
the
you
podcast
find.
canceled.
What'd you say?
You're about to get the podcast canceled.
No, no. You could. I didn't mean it like that. I love me a good thought, a good slut. Okay, do what you gotta do, girl.
Girl.
Get out of here, do it, pop it, kill it. Okay, but
Girl.
just make sure.
This is not explicit
I
podcast.
said pop it, kill it. But just make sure that it's your plan for you. Like it's strategically like, is this like and plan don't have to be career focused. It don't have to be it could be plan of like a partner focus. Like you feel like you go out here, you're gonna be in the dating field a little bit more. It could be a plan of like your purpose, right? Your career is not necessarily your purpose. Like is it if it's purposeful for you, would you be able to help others when you're out here, like just really making sure. I think that is what is honestly like the best thing for you move, because if not you will find yourself like always questioning like am I you find yourself doing that regardless wherever you're at, but always questioning like am I here, why am I here for, what is the purpose of all this, what am I doing this for. And that's okay to ask yourself that every once in a while because that's what keeps you moving, but you don't want to ask that all the time because then your move might not have been the greatest move. And so that's what I really think is like the big thing is just like make sure it's the like when you think of your purpose and what will help your purpose or what will help your plans and like will this move do that for you, will this city do this for you, will this career opportunities do this for you, will this community opportunity do this for you, will this weather do this for you.
Okay, the
Like if you want to
weather.
be a farmer or you want to be like a wellness chick, up in Seattle, up in Boston may not be really where you're gonna do a wellness thing because it's cold up in them cities. It's raining, like you just gotta think like that.
Go to California.
Right, or go to or
Or
Texas or Florida or the
yeah, or
Caribbean.
even like industries like tech is really good in Seattle. So like if you want to get into tech,
Yeah,
look at those cities.
California, things like that. If you want to do more of like the healthcare, cybersecurity, stuff, then you need to be in the East Coast because you're next to all the like nice hospitals, but you're also next to the capital of the world. I mean, the United States, sorry, not the world, of the United States, and so that's a lot of cybersecurity types jobs, IT jobs over here too, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, great, great. Well, you kind of answered the next question, but if you have any more, you can let us know. Do you have any relocation advice or tips?
Um, yeah. Well, that's one. Make sure it's part of your plan, your purpose, and stuff like that, and just I don't know, have fun with it. Like, you know, I say have fun with it. Like, I really enjoyed looking at apartments. Like, it was fun. Like, I didn't make it too stressful on me. Like, I don't like to put a lot of stress on myself because that just then I get stuck. I'm someone who, if I put a lot of stress on myself, I actually just start looking at the screen and nothing goes on. So I'm like, I'm having fun with it. I'm like, okay, yeah, this little apartment complex is cute. Where is it? What's the store next to? Ooh, what kind of car is that next to? And just and just having fun and having really fun with it. And I will say that something I should have utilized more. My coworkers always tell me, they was like, "Girl, you should have hit me up." So hit up your coworkers, your supervisors, ask them if you're kind of having difficulties of where to live and stuff like that.
What
Know
that
that this
mean?
is
The ones that you work now, that you should have hit them up.
both of them actually. Both of my jobs, I would say both ones I was going to move to, they were very like, here's a list of places to live and to look at, list of areas, not necessarily apartment complexes, but list of areas to look at. So that was really I didn't look at those as much. I don't know why, because I just be doing whatever in my own world. But to really look in them, because those are people that probably have lived there at least, um, you know, for all my coworkers, they've been there for like 3-4 years. So those are people that have been in the city for a minute. So look at those when they say these are the areas to kind of look at. And I love the area that I won't say love. I like the area that I'm in, but I was like, oh, I should have listened a little bit more because I could have been in this other kind of area that was a little bit more like younger vibes, but also it was a little bit more money. And my sister and I were just talking about how like if you in the cities a lot, like you gotta kind of watch your back all the time. You feeling like, ooh, you gotta find parking. You gotta figure out if somebody about to come up and ask me for money, try to rob me and stuff. There's a little bit of peace and quiet living a little bit outside of the city. So that's a really good advice. Look outside of the city a little bit if you got some kind of transportation, because you just get a little bit of more peace and quiet outside of the city than in the city, and you're not feeling like you're so anxious or always on the edge, like, ooh, I gotta hurry up and get in the house, and I gotta hurry up and do all these things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I safe, or where's my base, or who's about to ask me a question, or where am I gonna park today, or how much is parking here, when I can, like, I have a place to park, and I can not say I can take my time to walk into my apartment, stuff like that.
Girl, the main tip, you gotta tell them.
What?
Inside apartments.
Oh. Oh, yeah. So yeah, so now I live in an inside apartment that you gotta get a key to go inside and stuff like that. That is a really good tip. Okay, I'll give you that. That is a good tip, because I used to live in an apartment complex where, like, you open the door, your apartment is right there, and so you open the door in your apartment, maybe the bugs was in there, the
Cold.
leaves from the trees just be coming inside your house. It was really just a lot, but it is a nice main tip to live inside. But I will say it take me a minute to walk into my apartment. You know what I'm saying? So my sister and I
We
was
need
just
elevators.
yes, I have an elevator too, but I was just like, you know what? I just miss parking my car in front of my apartment. I will say that I miss parking it and just walking
Yeah, I
straight to
guess
my
there's pros
apartment.
and cons because it's like you gotta carry all your stuff.
Yeah,
But it be
but I
warm
like inside.
inside.
Yeah, I like inside,
But
and
you
I
better
don't.
get you a what is it? What is it called? Get you a
What?
wagon.
Oh yes, yes. Y'all get y'all wagons, get y'all shopping carts, or get y'all
Mm-hmm.
something, cause baby, or you just gonna have to get 2-3
Wait.
groceries and come back the next day.
Yeah, I'm weak. Figure out what to say. Okay. But I'm like, I want an inside apartment. I hate being cold. Also, though, I hate being cold, but I feel like it's a security thing for me
It
too,
is.
because it's like Oh snaps! You only get a key. You can only come in. You can do
Yes.
that. So you won't be
Yeah.
outside looking fidgeting and going
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, oh no, there's a parking garage. Okay,
Right.
boom, parking garage. Let me get up in here. Let
Right.
me do that. Like I like
I
that.
agree. I would say actually that's a really good idea, especially if you're relocating to a new city. Really be careful. I guess that's another tip. Really be careful of safety measures. Like pay for pay for conveniences if you have it. I mean, obviously, I don't want you to go broke for conveniences, but please pay, especially if you're a young woman, a young Black woman. Just pay for those extra conveniences, like you said, living inside, or like if you can't afford a parking garage, do those things because like our safety is super important. Like you living in the garage, there's hopefully a camera in there. Also, you don't maybe have to worry about getting the snow off your car, trying to navigate that space while you're in this new city, figuring out like how long is it going to take me to get the snow off the car and get to my place, and just really try to focus on like your safety and paying for those conveniences. It can seem like a lot of money if you have two sisters, maybe do get an extra job or find an extra source of income or ask family friends if they can help support you, but really tell them that it's because I want to be safe because I'm in this new city and I don't know anything and I just want to be safe. And then once you maybe get to know the city, you can loosen up a little bit, but at the beginning, just be safe for real.
Yes. Well, that sounds like a great way to end it. Just be
Yeah.
safe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the relocation series.
All right. I